Hey everyone. So today I want to talk about something quite personal, and definitely something that I feel I haven't been authentic about throughout my whole life, and something that I've hidden in a lot of ways through my life. So what I want to talk about is that I happen to be gay. Um, and this is something that I've wrestled with personally since I was very young. Um, and in many ways, there's about three phases of my life and how I've, you know, had how I've dealt with this for myself. So really, the first phase was in realizing that this was part of my experience, being gay. Um, when I was 12 or 13, it started to dawn on me. Um, and through my teenage years and school, it was something that I was very scared of within me and something that I didn't like within me. And it added to my sense of, self-rejection and fears about my life and my sense of unworthiness. I certainly put all of that on to me, and I built more pain into my life through having to deal with being gay. So that was a hard time, and definitely through that period, I told very, very few people. I think towards the end of my teens, I told some more people. But even then, I didn't want to really accept it or embrace it in any way. I just wanted it to go away. I hoped it would go away, definitely. Um, so that was the sort of first period. And then I think the second period for me was at university and then through my 20s. Um, through that whole period, I was a Christian. I think I hoped that within Christianity I would find some hope for healing and fixing it. I certainly got some good support from some good friends who are Christians, and they helped me um, and supported me in my life during that time. So I do appreciate that. But my whole drive was to fix this issue in my life. So I didn't speak openly about it, and all I wanted was to find ways to remove it or heal from it, I might have said at the time. I read a lot of books. I went through a lot of counseling. I flew to different parts of the world. I met some psychiatrist once in Los Angeles who is supposed to help people become straight. I did. I spent the whole year, like towards the end of my 20s, because I wanted to fix it finally before I was 30. Spent a year in Washington, and I did various things there to support me and maybe changing it, and a lot of things I got involved in were you would potentially consider conversion therapy. Um, and I willfully went into these things. I chose them myself in many ways. Um, and I met like people that I would still consider to be good, well-meaning people. So I don't have any anger against anyone I met in those contexts. Um, but I do admit that I never changed and I never, became this straight person that I sort of hoped that I would become. Um, so that was my experience in my 20s, and I was wholehearted about trying to find a way to change this in my life. I put a lot of time and effort into it. I read lots of books and I met lots of people, as I said, and went on weekend retreats and lots of stuff. I did counseling, as I said. Um, I prayed a lot. I did that bit too. Um, and I helped myself personally, but I didn't change my sexuality. So that was my 20s. Again, if you knew me in that period, I would have been hidden about it. I told some more people, some people supported me with how it was impacting my life and how I was struggling with my perception of it. But I definitely wouldn't have been open about it to people. So then it comes to like the third phase, and that's really the last phase over the last decade. I just got to the point where I needed to accept that this is my experience, that this has been the experience of my life, and I had to choose to be okay with that, whether other people weren't okay with that. So for pretty much the last decade, I have been not fighting it and open to meeting other gay guys who are all very normal and all lovely, great guys. Well, some not so, but that's the same with anyone, I guess. And I'm happy in my life in that sense. It's brought a liberation and a peace to me from accepting it. And I've just sort of moved on with my life. I also have dropped out of being a Christian. You know, I did that slightly before the time of not fighting this in a way. And that's also been an important step for me, which I guess some people watching this video might not agree with. But that's okay. You know, it's been important for me. Both those moves of not fighting myself anymore in terms of, you know, my sexuality, but then also stepping away from Christianity. I'm still very spiritual, actually. That's developed again over the last number of years, and but it's a different form of spirituality, and definitely not one where I feel I need to really fight, you know, the sexuality that I've experienced from like such a young age, I guess. So yeah, that's what I'm opening up about. It's another part of me. It's definitely something that I've felt the need to hide, and certainly less so in the last number of years, but I just felt it's important for me to add to these videos, because it's something that I pick and choose who I tell still, and this is me simply saying, you know, whoever you are, it's a part of me, and I'm just saying my sense of it and what it is for me. It's a part of my life, and it's not something that I need to hide or I need to be ashamed of. Yeah. So that's where I'm at. You know, I'm very happy, and lots of my friends know now. I've been in a relationship for a number of years as well. He's quite, you know, private himself, so I won't say more than that. And yeah, I happen to be gay. I think I'll just end with, you know, I'm not one for labels in general. I think they're a reductionist mindset, and I think we all have to be careful not to sum somebody up with a label. So for me, I'm not my job. I'm not my sexuality. I'm bigger than that. And so is everybody, I guess. We're all bigger than the labels that are on our lives for whatever reasons, you know, good or bad. But we have to embrace the fullness of who we are. And for me, at this point in my life, the reality is this, and I do, you know, and I embrace that, and I am happy to express that. So I've shared that today. Thanks for listening.